back to my channel, Ardent Family. I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling like my tank is on empty. We are dealing with a lot of stuff right now in the world with the pandemic. We've got civil unrest in the United States. So it's just stressful all the way around. And I've actually been working a lot of hours as well. So anyway, I'm thinking for this video, I just want to do some meal prep for the week. So I've got a nice, easy week next week. And I want to get ready to make some of my favorite comfort foods. I also do have something that I've been waiting to unbox with you. I'm super excited about this purchase that I'm getting from Amazon, and I can't wait to show it to you. If there's something that I really like or that I think is a really good deal, I like to share it with you guys. I like it when you share those things with me as well. I think we learn a lot from each other. I know that I learn a lot from just the comments that you guys put on my board, you know, about things, you know, recipes, things that you've tried. And I also learn a lot from watching other YouTube videos. So anyway, this is my breakfast this morning. I am really liking these little yogurts that I'm getting from Aldi, and they're only, I think they're 32, yeah, they're 32 cents. It's only a 6-ounce container, which is actually probably the standard size, but it's really tasty, and I like these in smoothies as well. Chobani Greek yogurt has been my favorite for a long time, but it's about $1 a container, so this is quite a bit. You know, it's a third of the price, and that really does add up. I do have some huge financial goals this year, so every little decision like that is important, and I'm going to try to save as much money as possible. This Bare Naked granola is actually a little bit more expensive, but I do like it. I think it was like $3 something, but it'll last me for a few months, and I like this on a variety of things, so I'm going to use this. I also like to go to places like Winco, where you can get into the bulk section, and you can just get out a small amount at a time. I haven't made my own granola yet, but that's also an option. So I've been thinking a lot about saving money on individual items, and this yogurt is actually a perfect example. You know, if I just swapped out this for the Chobani that I usually like to eat, I could save $139.36 a year. Likewise, I was also thinking about this dog food that I get for my dog. I purchased this Little Caesar brand at Walmart for 82 cents. And it's basically just 3.5 ounces. I noticed they have it at Aldi for 45 cents. And basically, if I just swap that out and she's eating one of these a day, I could save $131.92 a year. That's not bad. If I actually do this with about 10 items, I could put an additional $1,000 in mutual funds or stocks, and that's going to go a really long way. So I'm going to be looking for these opportunities to swap out less expensive items, and sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. You know, if you can't find something that's the same flavor-wise, nutrition-wise, or whatever, if you're kind of weighing that out. But I'm really looking forward to finding more opportunities to save this year. I'm interested in how you guys save money. If you have any little tips or tricks for me, let me know in the comments down below. I have to admit, I've been very excited about opening this package. Basically what it is it's a storage unit. I had one before, and it got lost in the move. I ended up missing a couple of boxes in the move, but this was my absolute favorite kitchen accessory, and I used it all of the time. I used to like to use this when I make tacos. I cut up the lettuce, tomatoes, onions, shredded cheddar cheese, and I put everything in this. It's a single unit with 5 spaces for different condiments, and there's a lot of different ways you can use this. I used to use it with salads as well, if I cut up a variety of vegetables. And then the nice thing about this is you can put it in the refrigerator and you have everything together. And there's also a spot for ice in the bottom of the unit. I've never used it that way, but it would be nice if you were entertaining, or even if you were going to be doing an outside picnic or something like that, to have the ice in the bottom of the unit. But this is what I've been waiting for. Now, it looks to be similar to the one I had last time, and I just looked at all the reviews and purchased the one that was the least expensive with the most amount of reviews, with positive reviews. So I think this will work just fine. And I'm excited to use it because Today I'm going to do a stir fry, and I'm going to cut up all of the vegetables that I just purchased and put in this, and then I'll use it throughout the week. Just makes life a lot easier. And I did just purchase this celery a couple of nights ago, and the next morning it was disappointing because the next morning it was already getting a little bit soft, so I had to throw it in some water. And normally what I do is I'll put these into a glass jar with water, but I was too tired the other night when I got home from the store to do that. So I'm just going to wash these today, and what I don't end up cutting up, I'll put in this jar with ice. Now typically what I do is I'll use up all of the celery in my stir fries. I also like celery in soups, but I'll end up using up all of the diced celery in my stir fry, and then I'll take from here and dice more as I go. And this was a great deal. I got this for 99 cents at Aldi. Holy crap. This knife is suddenly like incredibly dull. I purchased these carrots for $1.33 at Aldi, which I thought was a pretty good deal, and they are definitely beautiful carrots. I was just talking to a viewer the other day, and she was saying how she doesn't peel her carrots, and I have to agree, especially looking at these carrots. They have a very light thin coat, so it's going to be easy to clean them, and we'll just go ahead and dice them from there. Okay, so I'm going to be eating a lot of these bell peppers in stir fries this week, but I'm also going to cut some up for a chicken sausage bake that I'm making. And when I eat the bell peppers with pasta, I actually like to have them in little squares instead of these kinds of slices. I think they go with the noodles a little bit better. So I'm just going to put these in a bag and set them off to the side in the fridge for later in the week. We eat a ton of broccoli. We like it in so many different ways, and I think everybody in the family really likes it. Just gonna pull the head of the stalk apart. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up slicing up the stalk. I actually like it in my stir fries like that. I've used a lot of the stalk in my soups, but recently I just started using it in the stir fry, and it's just as good as the top of the stalk. You know, I find that really what matters most in the stir fries is the flavor of the stir fry. So, you know, and I think really that goes with a lot of vegetables as well. You know, a lot of times kids don't like vegetables, but it's because their parents are basically just steaming the vegetables. You know, I think if you put the right seasonings on vegetables, kids can find them a lot more consumable. So I'm going to cut up these tomatoes. Sometimes I put those in my stir fry, not always. But I'm also going to be eating a lot of salad this week, so I definitely want to have the tomatoes on hand. And I'm so excited about this. It's going to make my life so much easier. Okay, we'll put a link in the description for you in case you want to order this for yourself. And then I'm going to go ahead and make some rice. And in case you haven't watched my channel before, I do use vegetable bouillon in my rice cooker. I just mix it in with the water, and I love the way it makes the rice taste. Just a little bit more flavorful. Be careful though not to overdo it. I just put about a tablespoon. Like that, and it always turns out just perfect. Now, I don't make up a lot of rice to put in the refrigerator. Some I have before, but it's so easy to just go ahead and make the rice in the rice cooker that I usually just will make maybe, you know, like 3 pots a week in the rice cooker. Inevitably, even if I do make extra, somebody will eat it up. We do eat a lot of rice in the family. But one of the things I like about rice is it is very inexpensive. So I'm going to be making, it's like a kung pao veggie stir fry is what it is. So I'm also going to cut up some Brussels sprouts. I like to have these on hand as well. Generally what I'll do is I'll either bake these or fry them up with a little oil spray, and then I will top them with a garlic salt, or that there's a seasoning from Trader Joe's that I absolutely love. It's called Everything But the Bagel, and I love that on top of either broccoli or these Brussels sprouts, and it's absolutely delicious. In fact, oddly enough, my dog really likes these Brussels sprouts as well, but I always have to make sure and give her these plain because she can't have anything with garlic on it. But I just think it's so odd that a dog would eat these actually. But I'm gonna go ahead and cut those up, and I think underneath is where you're supposed to put the ice. But I think I'm going to just use that as extra storage space for vegetables because I'm going to be very busy this week, and so I want to have a lot of food on hand. Okay, for my kung pao veggie stir fry, these are my staples that I'm going to be using. I've got this Kikkoman less sodium soy sauce. I absolutely love that. I have tried to get less expensive soy sauce, and I think it's worth it to pay a little bit more because Kikkoman is definitely it's the best. I'm going to use a little bit of the canola oil, and then some of this 100% pure toasted sesame oil that I got at Aldi, and it was like $2 and it was under $3. I can't remember exactly how much it was. Then I use this chili garlic sauce all the time. I absolutely love this stuff. It is delicious. So I always use that on my Asian stir fries. And I've got a little bit of sugar that I'm going to put on there. It's, that's what they make out teriyaki sauce out of, is soy sauce and sugar. I've got some peanuts. I picked these up at Trader Joe's. I've had them in the cabinet for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and put those in there. And I might put some peppercorn on there, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I don't always add pepper on, since I'm using a lot of chili in the chili garlic sauce. So that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get started with our stir fry. And I always like to put my stir fry serve it in a bowl, kind of a wide, shallow bowl. I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to start out with. And I wish I had my wok, but my wok was in, unfortunately, the boxes that I ended up losing. I don't know how I lost them. I'm not sure if somebody might have stolen them when we had our moving truck and we were making a load upstairs. That's the only thing I can really think about, how it would have happened. I don't know how we would have ended up losing a couple of boxes. So I put my celery in first because it takes a little bit longer to cook, and I do like my celery to get a little bit cooked. I like to cook my stir fry very fast and at a super high heat, as high as I can make it without burning my veggies. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add in some tomato slices this time. I don't usually put tomato in there, but since I do have them and I love the acidity, I'm just going to go ahead and add them in there. And I also added the carrots and the broccoli, and I'm going to go ahead and add this. Whoa. Yeah, so apparently the end of this is huge, and it just comes right out. Generally, I don't like to use the sesame oil to fry my stir fry in because it's so expensive, and I found that I'm just using it as a flavor component. So what I like to do is just add a few drops in there, and then I'll add a few more drops at the end after I've plated my food. But this bottle is definitely not going to work for me if I continue to buy that from Aldi, because it was an exceptional price. Then I'll probably be putting it in another bottle. I do think in retrospect, though, that I want to do a taste test with that sesame oil, because I think that just like having the right kind of soy sauce is important, I think having the best sesame oil is really important too, to the flavor of the dish. And this is one of my favorite meals to make. I eat this all of the time. And I'm actually really happy with the price that we paid for our veggies. We spent $4.02 on the veggies, and the rice, of course, is very inexpensive. I'm going to get a ton of meals out of this week. Now, if you want to add chicken, that's easy enough to do. You can just get a chicken breast, add a few pieces in. You can also use the canned chicken. I've done that before. I made that for my son, and he really likes it that way. But yeah, it's super versatile too. You can add as many different kinds of veggies as you like to eat. So I'm really happy about this purchase and getting this in the fridge for the coming week. It smells so good when it's cooking. And this rice just comes out perfect every time. I use this rice in a lot of different meals like this. Then what I usually do at the very end is I'll put a few drops of the sesame oil over the top of the rice, and I'll put just a few drops over the vegetables as well. But this is going to be a little bit difficult because it doesn't have a dropper. It has a huge pouring spout. Yeah, that's actually a little bit too much, but that's okay. But anyway, that just imparts the flavor on there, and it is so delicious. If you guys try it, let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching my video and for hanging out with me today. If you like my video, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon.